20, 30, 36, 43.
The Opera Mouse by Devin Cahoon. Read by the author. The little mouse loved music from even before he could open his eyes. He lay curled in a nest of grass and string and bits of rag, all snuggled in with his 9 brothers and 7 sisters in an old boot in the junk pile, and he listened. "What's making that song, Mother?" "It's a meadowlark on a fence post, singing for love." "Oh, it's so beautiful." "What's that one?" he asked, shushing his squeaking siblings so he could hear it properly. "It's the wind sighing through the trees on the hill." "And that?" "Frogs down at the pond." At night, the deliciously lonely song that coyotes sing sent shivers down his spine, and he was glad he was safely tucked in bed. He was the runt of the litter, and when he became nervous, his voice took on a terrible high-pitched quality, even more than was normal for a mouse. For this reason, his brothers and sisters named him Pipsqueak, which over time had been shortened to Pip. Annoyed by his constant questions about what made each and every sound, his brothers and sisters asked their mother, "Why can't he be like the rest of us?" "Because he is who he is all their mother would say. For the first 2 weeks of life, all baby mice have their eyes closed. When at last the first rays of light finally greeted his eyes and his world exploded into shape and color, Pip ran from one song to the next to discover what was making it. The rusty gate banging against the fence, cows swishing their tails, the bleating of lambs and dogs barking in the farmyard, all of these were music to Pip. Down at the marsh, many different songs combined together to make a fantastic banquet of sound. Fish rising to the surface and disappearing with a splash, red-winged blackbirds trilling, nearly bursting for joy. There was the sharp staccato of killdeer calling out, and the songs of bullfrogs and cicadas. The wind was rustling the rushes, and in a great crescendo a flock of geese came trumpeting in, landing upon the pond in an enormous rush of wings and water. Pip closed his eyes, swept away by the beauty of it all. Had it not been for his sensitive hearing, he surely would have missed the sound of belly scales on bark and been eaten by a huge snake. Even so, it was still the closest call of his whole life. He scurried back to the nest as quickly as his legs would go and didn't venture back to the marsh for a very long time.